Hey guys, how's it going? So, I've decided to start a Project Band series and I've decided to bring you guys along with me for two particular reasons. First of all, I want you guys to be inspired by this and do something similar with your collections. And secondly, I want you guys to keep me on my toes. If you guys don't know what a project ban is, it's basically kind of a challenge for people like me who have a ton of makeup collection to use a few of their products up. So what people do is they select certain products that they would like to use up or at least hit pan on in a given period of time. So people do that for a few different reasons. They would like to cut back their spending on buying new makeup, or they would like to use products up before they go bad. I don't have any makeup in my collection that's too old. For me, the love for makeup is pretty new, and so the oldest products that I have in my collection are like 2 years old. So for me, the prime motivation behind doing this series is to use the products that I used to love, but now that I have more products and better products, I'm just not using them anymore. So before we go into each product individually that I've selected for Project Pan, I do want to mention the criteria that I use to select these products. And that's because I feel it's really important to select the right products for your Project Pan if you really want it to be a successful project. So it's important to know that because you want to hit pan on these products, you are going to use them quite frequently. So you want to include products that you really love and you see yourself using. So of course, the first thing that I kept in mind was while selecting these products was that I really loved these products and that I could use them for prolonged periods of time. So I was trying to be pretty realistic and not too ambitious with my selection. So I included only 1 or 2 products per category so that I could actually hit pan on. Thirdly and lastly, I do want to mention that I want it to be a fun activity that you can enjoy and that I can enjoy, and I don't want it to be a punishment at all. So if I feel like I'm getting sick of some products, I'm just going to switch. I'm going to try and experiment with other things that I have in my collection. I'm not going to hold myself back because I need to hit pan. That's what I was saying before Snapchat cut me off. So this is my dressing table, you could say. I do have a mirror over here that I've removed for filming this video, and these were my everyday makeup drawer. And then right next to it, I have my entire makeup collection lined up. I do have my skincare over here, I have my brushes over here, and then I have a bunch of stuff in these drawers as well. I did reorganize things recently, so if you guys want me to do a makeup tour or something like that, do let me know and I'll be happy to do that. So anyways, back to Project Pan. Let me just get these products out of the way so we can chat about them and I can tell you why I selected them and things like that. Alright, so the pile is growing and I'm kind of overwhelmed, but we do have a few more products right here. For example, these foundations and then these lip and eye products. And finally, I have 2 palettes that I want to work on, and then that's about it. So these are all of the products that I'm going to try and use up by the end of 2017. They do look like a lot of products, but I was actually pretty good with selecting my products, but I didn't pick more than 2 products per category. So I wouldn't get bored of using a single product over and over again. And I do think that if I consistently use these products for the next 6 months, I would actually get a pretty good use out of them. So anyways, let's talk about these products and why I selected them. I'll go in order of base products, then eyes, then cheeks, and then lips. So for primers, I selected these 2 guys right here. This is the Rimmel Stay Matte and this is a pore minimizing primer by Sephora. So these 2 are probably my oldest primers in my collection, and you can't really tell with this one because it has kind of like an inflated tube, so it still looks new. But I did actually use it quite a bit when I first got it, and I'm pretty sure it's halfway gone. It's a mattifying primer, but it's not my favorite. I do prefer other primers, but I would like to use it up. So if by the end of the year I've not used it still, I would just throw it away because 1, it would be too old by that time. And secondly, I would know for sure that I'm not enjoying it, so it doesn't have to be in my collection and it doesn't belong. So I would just toss that away. So because the first one I wasn't a huge fan of, I didn't want to include a primer that I really loved. And this one by Sephora is one that I have enjoyed for a very long period of time. It's pretty much a dupe for the Benefit Professional, although it's not very cheap. I did get it from my local Sephora. I don't think it's available at the US Sephora, but it is pretty darn amazing. It does minimize your pores. It basically makes them disappear. and I really used to enjoy it quite a lot. I did put it on a bride when I was doing her makeup, and then a bunch of people I was doing party makeup for. And one of the people had really bad acne at the time, and it did take care of that. It made their skin look extremely smooth. Somewhere down the lane, I started using and falling in love with other primers, so I completely forgot about it. But I have actually used quite a bit of it, and I think I'll be able to get through it if I really try hard and start paying more attention to it. So yeah, that's another item that I think I would actually successfully go through by the end of 2017. Alright, and then this next guy right here is a concealer palette that I've actually talked about quite often on Instagram and on Facebook. And as you can see, it does get a lot of love from me. I do use this color every single time to cancel out my darkness under the eyes. And then I use this green color right here to cancel out any redness on my cheeks, and it also helps with adding a lot of brightness to that area. And then depending on what complexion I am at the time, I mix these two colors to, spot conceal and things like that. So my objective for this palette would be to use up this orange color right here, this green one, and maybe these two as well. I already bought a backup of this, so I do have a brand new one in my collection. By the end of 2017, I would like to get rid of this one and then start the new one. Alright, and for foundation, I would like to use up my Revlon Color Stay foundation. Now this is a beautiful foundation, and it's probably the first liquid foundation that I ever purchased. So I'm pretty sure that it's getting pretty old. Not that it changed the formula or anything like that, but I do think that I should use it up before the end of 2017. So this is the Milani Conceal and Perfect, and it's not technically a part of the project pan. The Revlon Color Stay is. However, this is too light for me and this is too dark. And these are both just beautiful formulas for full coverage foundation. So one day I just mixed them both up and added 1 drop of oil to them. And that little foundation cocktail was just the most amazing thing ever on my skin. It looked so damn beautiful. So I know for a fact that I'm not going to be able to use the Revlon Color Stay by itself because it's too beigey for me. So I'm just going to try and use it up in conjunction with this guy. The Revlon Color Stay is pretty high coverage, so I wanted to include something that would be a little more on the natural side. So I picked up this RMK foundation, and I really like this one. The undertone in this foundation is really flattering on my skin tone, and it's just a deluxe sample size. So I think I'll not only be able to use this up, but I'll also enjoy using it. I've picked up 2 concealers to finish before the end of the year, and I don't think it's going to be an issue with any of these. The first one is the Maybelline Age Rewind, and I'm almost already done. So finishing this up won't be an issue because I know I already love this concealer. And then a new find for me is the NARS Creamy Radiant Concealer. I know tons of people already love this. I had just started using it when I fell in love with the Tarte Shape Tape and forgot all about this one. But I would like to continue using it and finish it up because I do remember enjoying it. So up next are some powder products. 2 of them are pressed products and 2 of them are loose powders. The first one is the NYX HD powder, and this is in the shade Banana. It has a very slight yellow undertone to it, and I honestly really love this product so much. I find that it's extremely flattering to set the under eye concealer, especially on the Indian and Pakistani skin tones, and I do really use it quite often, but I'm nowhere near finishing it. I mean, I do see some dip right in the center. I've made some dent in it, which is considerable compared to some other products that still look brand new to me. So I would be so proud of myself if I actually ended up finishing this product, and I don't see that would be a big issue considering how much I love this product. Okay, this is quite embarrassing. Oh my god. So this is so beat up. This is a powder foundation by the brand Stageline, and I bought this from Pakistan. So the reason why this product is in such beautiful condition is not only because I dropped it a couple of times, but also because when I first got it, I really used it. So this is what the product looks like, and it's a decent product to build up coverage, and it's a good match for me during the summers, so I'm hopeful I'll be able to get some use out of it in the coming months. The next product that I'm hoping to get some more use out of this year, because I know for a fact that I won't be able to use the entire thing up, is the e.l.f. High Definition Powder. This product is also special because it was the first ever loose translucent powder that I ever purchased, and I remember really falling in love with this one the first time I used it. So I really want to get into the habit of using this guy more often. But then this one right here is not getting old or anything. It's fairly new. I just hauled it 2 months ago, I guess. So I wanted to include it in the project pan because I already have bought the full size of it. I just fell in love really hard with this one, and so of course I'm gonna finish this one before I get to the next one. So finally, that was it for the base products. Now let's just move to the eye products. For eyes, the first thing that I'm going to make a point of using more often is the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. It's an amazing eye base and I just don't use it enough. So another potted product is the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade, and I think it's drying out and I should be using it more often, and I'm not because I'm more into the pencil products, and I'm definitely going to make it a point to use more of it in the remainder of the year. So I included 2 mascaras to be part of my project pan. The first one is the Benefit Roller Lash, and it's a pretty good mascara. It's pretty new to my collection as well, but I'm already using it and I'm already almost out of it, so I would like to finish this up. But then this guy is pretty old, and Mascara Police might just come after me because it's too old to be used, but I don't think the formula has changed or anything like that. So I genuinely feel like this is still good to be used. But of course, if I ever feel like this is giving my eyes a reaction or anything like that, I will instantly switch it out for something else. Next, I want to finish up these 2 guys right here. These are the Master Drama Kohl Liners by Maybelline, and I absolutely love this product. This is definitely my ride or die kohl formula, and I have gotten so many people in my family hooked and obsessed with this eyeliner. It just has the creamiest formula ever. It just glides on smoothly, but they are getting old and I do like to be careful for products that I have to apply in my eyes. So I'll be more than happy to use them up entirely. I just love this formula so much. Next, I just want to use up my Kat Von D Tattoo eyeliner. It's definitely not my favorite eyeliner of all time. My favorite is the Stila one, but I ran out of it, so I was using this. And I've already repurchased the Stila one, but definitely I want to use this one up before I go to that one. Alright, and then for the eyeshadow palette, I want to put this guy to good use. I was so excited when I first got this palette. This was my first high-end eyeshadow palette, and I was so stoked to finally have it in my collection. But then soon after, I bought the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, and then I forgot completely about this one. So as you can see, it barely looks touched. I'm so sad that something as beautiful as this is so ignored in my collection. So I want to challenge myself to use this eyeshadow more on an everyday basis over the next 6 months. Even if I'm using other eyeshadows, I want to use this palette in conjunction with those so that I get some good use out of it and my money's worth. And I do want to hit pan on these 2 guys right here because these are the only 2 transition shades in the Naked One palette, so it should be easy to hit pan on them at least. However, I do know that the Naked One does not have a lot of outer corner or deep shades, so I did bust out a new Z palette and I put in some single shadows here. Truth be told, the Naked palette is the product that I'm most excited about using, and I'm really hoping that when I do an update on my project pan, I'm able to show progress. Alright, so I have 4 of these cheek products right here that I want to talk about before we move on to lips. The first one is the Park Avenue Princess Face Palette by Tarte. It has 3 products: Tarte's ever famous Park Avenue Princess Bronzer / Contour, and then a gorgeous highlight and a gorgeous blush. I really love this contour powder. I think it's very flattering and very suitable for my skin tone. And I also do really enjoy this blush and this highlight. This blush reminds me of NARS's Orgasm, and this highlight reminds me of Becca Moonstone. So I thought it was a good idea to include a face palette that had the products that I enjoyed every single one of. Next, I have an e.l.f. duo that I would like to use up. I am so obsessed with this blush. This again was one of my first e.l.f. products, and I was so obsessed with this blush. When I went to Pakistan, my mom really fell in love with this, so I gave mine to her and bought myself a new one. And I still pull this out every once in a while. So I'm pretty sure if I had the original palette with me, I would have hit pan on this blush. I don't really use the bronzer since it has shimmer, and I don't really like that. And finally, because both the blushes that I've talked about have shimmer in them, I did want to include a matte blush for day to day, which is why I included this guy right here. It's a fairly cool toned pink, and I've recently gotten into using cool tone blushes. I really find that they look very natural on me. For highlighting, I do want to bring to front and center another forgotten palette in my collection. This is the e.l.f. Illuminating Palette, and it comes with 4 highlighting shades. this is what the palette looks like. And as you can see, I did use it a little bit, but definitely I'm nowhere near finishing any of these powders, and I would actually want to see some progress with these powders. I do want to see myself using them more often. Finally, let's talk about these guys right here. These are all the lip products that I'm aspiring to finish up by the end of 2017. The first one is kind of a duo. This is my favorite lip combo from Colourpop. It's the Lippy Pencil and the Lippy Stick in the shade Button. And more often than not, Colourpop's pencil and lipstick have the exact same shade, but this is one of those few items that are two entirely different colors and shades. This one right here is the Lippy Pencil by itself. This one right here is the lipstick by itself, and this is the combination of the two. I am obsessed with this combination. I think that it's so flattering on our Pakistani and Indian skin tones. It's a perfect nude on our skin tones, really. Next up is the Ofra Long Lasting Liquid Lipstick in the shade Mocha. This is another nude, and I thought that it was a good idea to include nudes because those are the kinds of colors I would wear on an everyday basis. So this is what it looks like. Again, it's just a stunning nude color that would look very flattering on so many different skin tones. Next is a Colourpop Ultra Satin Lip in the shade Calypso, and this is what it looks like. I know all of these shades look extremely similar, but to me, honestly, they're all really different. And finally, this is another lip jumbo crayon kind of a product. These remind me so much of the lip pencil formulas by Colourpop. They're very creamy. This is what this one looks like. It's more on the brown side. It's still a nude, but it's more brownish, whereas the other ones were more mauvey. Alright, you guys, so that wraps up my Project Pan intro. I know it was a long one. I'm really sorry, and thank you for bearing with me. So wish me luck and keep me on my toes. I'm supposed to update you guys in 3 or 4 weeks on my progress on these products. And if I don't do that, just keep reminding me on Instagram or on Facebook to just update you guys on where my products are at. I do think that it's a pretty smart way of bringing some of your makeup products to front and center that maybe you've forgotten in the excitement of new things. And I do hope that, at least for me, it would help me curb the temptation to buy new things if I'm focusing on old ones at the time. So anyways, I hope it wasn't boring as hell. I know I took a lot of time to film this video, and I just hope you guys have a wonderful day ahead. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.